a fountain, not a drain. You want to be so well positioned in your affiliate partners' minds, in your family, in your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, children. You want to be so well positioned that people simply want to answer. How many of you would answer the phone if Steve Jobs called? Right. Well, he's an important person, but if you really got to know Steve personally, you might have a different perspective on Steve. However, he's a freaking ninja when it comes to what he is. He's an industry transformer of the highest level. And so what I seek out are industry transformers. And if you really want to have relationships as industry transformers, you better be a giver and not a taker. Okay, and life gives to the giver and takes from the taker. Life gives to the givers and takes from the takers. That pretty much, if I had to summarize my philosophy on relationships, give more than you take. Produce more than you consume. Do it in business, do it in relationships, do it in your life. None of this is rocket science. None of this is maybe sounds profound to you. However, it's not how most people I encounter operate. Many people have an entitlement attitude. Many people think the world owes them something. Many people just, a few were born on third base and think they hit a triple. However, most people, I think, put very little emphasis on thinking about the mindset of the other person and how they perceive you. And if you really put a lot of time and energy into thinking about how other people perceive you, you can really kind of gauge this too, like how often do people answer your phone call? And I love doing this to certain friends too. I'll be with like, hey, let's call this person, and three of us will sit there and we'll all call and see who actually he answers the phone for. And I usually win all the time. Okay, so be useful, be grateful, be valuable. How many of you know really successful, wealthy people? And you will meet some here. There's some very sharp people here in the room. And some people just go out of their way to give you strategies, volunteer what they're doing, and other people don't say anything. You know what I'm talking about? And I know people that run like multi-million dollar, $100 million plus companies, and they're sitting down with someone and they know the answer to something and they don't volunteer it. I cannot stand it. It's like, just, if you got something useful, share it with someone. It's just going to come back to you tenfold. When I created my consumer awareness guide, if someone never did business with me, just by reading it, they would learn everything they would need to know about how to hire a professional cleaner. So when you're putting out content, Eben Pagan, calls it moving the free line. Seth Godin calls it permission marketing. There's all kinds of things. I was doing that stuff in 1992, giving away free consumer information and stuff. And I do a podcast on iTunes called I Love Marketing, where we get 1,500 to 2,000 new downloads a day off of iTunes. We've got tens of thousands of people that listen to my stuff, and it keeps growing, and hopefully within the next year I'll have some Oprah power. And I'll say, if I want, buy this book, do this, do that, then, it'll really be a great thing. But I know the vast majority of people that listen to I Love Marketing will never give me money. I just get tremendous joy of knowing that my marketing strategies are out there in the world, helping people in all kinds of different countries. And I would encourage a lot of you to start something like that. How many of you make your living in the fitness, exercise, nutrition world? Okay, how many of you make it in some other sort of niche? Just yell it out.
Tech.
Tech? Social media? Tech? Okay.
I'm an exotic cancer.
God, I want to use a line I heard a comedian say so badly. Am I offending anyone with my language?
No.
I was at a comedy show once. This is so appropriate to Craig. There was this heckler in the audience who just kept giving this comedian so much shit, and finally the guy stopped, looked at this guy and said, "Look, I don't come to your work and knock cocks out of your mouth, so quit messing with my act." I'm sorry that is totally, I cannot believe I just said that. I'm a bad human being. All right. As I'm being very useful, grateful, and valuable right now. Really segues right into what I was saying there. All right. But yeah, I'm a really big believer. Just give people so much stuff that they are blown away. Absolutely blown away. While you're here, When we break after lunch and you're on the boat, share your best damn ideas with each other. The value you're going to get out of this is not going to be anything I say. It's going to be what you guys do. If you got a great ninja, how many of you, raise your hand, have some really cool ninja strategies that if someone else in the room knew them, it would make $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 if they just knew it? Raise your hand if you got something like that. Okay, how many of you are dumb as a box of rocks and don't have any? Just raise your hand. No, but share what it is you know. Be useful, be valuable, because you're really here to develop relationships. I mean, my take is if you're going to spend the next 2 days here, you might as well do some business with each other. You might as well learn what you're doing. You might as well throw Josh in the lake. You might as well, and also let's give it up for Josh for putting this together. For all the stand up for inspection, Kim and Vicky, whoever, the whole team, they're all awesome. So, anyway. All right, so treat others as you would love to be treated.